Now, without further ado, we want to get the party started. I'm going to introduce our new marketing and sales manager, Nathan Plim, and he's going to get us going.
All right, thank you, Meredith. Good evening, everyone. As Meredith said, my name is Nathan Plim, and I am the Marketing Sales Manager for the Wisconsin Rapids Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. A little bit about myself before we get started. I was born and raised in Peshtigo, Wisconsin. For those that don't know, that's 45 minutes north of Green Bay. And Peshtigo is a very small community of around 4,000 people. Similar to the Wisconsin Rapids area, sports have always held a large emphasis in my hometown. Though I am new to this area, there's a strong sense of welcome and reassurance being here, in that, like Peshtigo, the community rallies around and celebrates athletic achievement and leadership in the sports community. For those that may not know, the Wisconsin Rapids Area Convention and Visitors Bureau works to promote our community as a business and leisure travel destination, but also as a prominent sports destination. We do so by submitting proposals for new sporting events, games, and tournaments to be held in our area. We also submit paid advertising across a variety of platforms that promote our excellent facilities and welcoming community. What's more, our office can provide hospitality items for visiting teams, coaches, and other visitors. We can also create roadmaps for visiting teams to assist in travel planning and facilitate connections between visiting teams and our lodging partners, and much more. Meredith and I would love to talk way more about that for anyone who is interested, but that is not why we are here tonight. Tonight we are here to celebrate the sports community and the outstanding individuals that have been nominated for the 2022 MVP Awards. While many of you are heavily involved in the sports community, I'd like to take a moment to talk about the Wisconsin Rapids Area Sports Commission. An extension of the Wisconsin Rapids Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Sports Commission provides a forum for leaders in the athletic community who are passionate about promoting our area as a sports destination. We work to connect people and provide collaborative opportunities to achieve growth and success of our area, sports, and organizations. Additionally, we seek to acquire new athletic events and capitalize on our area's valued recreational facilities and natural assets. The Sports Commission meets the second Tuesday of every month, and we'd love for you to join us. If you or someone you know would be interested in being involved in the Sports Commission, I invite you to connect with me after our celebration tonight. And that's enough shop talk. On to the good stuff. Each year, the Wisconsin Rapids Area Sports Commission hosts this celebration and presents the MVP Award to those who showcase commitment to athletes, their families, and community members, who demonstrate creativity, and who promote positive energy toward the growth of sports and development of local athletes and sports resources and sports tourism. The MVP Award nominees are the movers and shakers in our sports community. They're the ones who see a need and dedicate their time to bettering our area. When the going gets tough, they're the ones who might say, "There's no crying in baseball," much like my dad would quote to me from the League of Their Own. The real honor, though, for these individuals lies in being recognized by you, our community, being recognized as the big hitters in the Wisconsin Rapids area sports community. With that, I'd like to introduce Kim Kinsey, the 2020 MVP Award winner and the 2022 MVP Award Celebration Coordinator.
All right, good evening. Can you hear me? All right, so yes, my name is Kim Kinsey, and I was born and raised in Wisconsin Rapids, and I'm all about promoting the area, making sure that this is a place that we all love to live. And I was honored a few years ago as the MVP. I have a stand-up paddleboard business, and I think that's what got me noticed. So let's get on for tonight. So as Nathan and Meredith mentioned, the Sports Commission prides itself in showcasing all the amazing sports and opportunities programs in this community. As you can see by the overwhelming attendance, I think this may be our biggest ceremony this evening, that the three gentlemen that have been nominated for the Sports Commission MVP Award have truly made a difference in the community. and they continue to do so. As the coordinator of this event, I have attempted to do my homework and learn more about Ken Hilgers, Dan Guck, and Lee Graff. And I have learned a lot. There's a lot to know, and everyone that I talked to had more positive stories to add. I've also learned that these three are surrounded by family and friends that are very supportive and proud of their efforts as well. And another thought as I was socializing tonight, so what is this all about? Somebody asked me. And I said, as we're looking around, it's all about getting together and celebrating all the good things that these three gentlemen have put together in their time and effort spent making Wisconsin Rapids area a better place. So where do I begin? I'm going to begin this evening by introducing Dan Guck and Lee Graff. So I'll give you a background on each of them, and then I would like them to come up together. So they are two individuals that have coached sports separately, yet their passion of baseball is what brought them together to improve the baseball facilities in Wisconsin Rapids. Baseball has always been Dan's passion, starting with his family's love for listening to the Milwaukee Brewers on the radio as he was growing up. Dan played Little League, school baseball, men's softball. He played men's softball until his boys started Little League themselves. He coached RISA baseball and league teams and tournament teams for both of his sons for altogether 12 years. During this time, he had a dream of the quadplex. And he continued to be on the RISA board, I believe, after his sons were done playing baseball. So he continued promoting the sport and making sure that things were done the right way. Dan's involvement in the community does not begin and end with just baseball. Dan was also the Kellner Knights Snowmobile Club president for 10 years, and he handed over those duties in spring of 2020. Dan was part of all this while building a successful business and being part of multiple nonprofit boards. Dan puts his heart and soul into everything that he does, whether it was coaching his children in Little League or serving as president on the school board, helping out for Rotary, or as president of the Kellner Knights Snowmobile Club. He's truly a volunteer that keeps on giving. Now there's Lee. Lee Graff was born and raised in the city of Wisconsin Rapids. As a youth, he was involved in many sports: football, basketball, baseball, powerlifting, and American Legion baseball. He volunteered for baseball camp, football camp, Auto Club, and the Boys and Girls Club. Lee has remained in the Wisconsin Rapids district his entire life, and he hoped to start and raise his own family in this area and continue his love for sports. And I would say he has done just that. He earned his journeyman certificate in 2008 and then furthers his education within the community at Mid-State Technical College. While enrolled at Mid-State, he was inducted as a member of the Phi Theta Kappa, an International Honor Society for Leadership and Service. He also made the Dean's List, earning a 4.0. He also advocates for the Wilderness Sportsman Club out of Rudolph, Wisconsin. In 2016, he worked with his previous employer, Dom Tar, to reopen and provide lake access from its property for ice fishing on Nepco Lake. So again, ice fishing continues for the public on Nepco Lake. He's also community-minded. In April of 2018, he was elected as an official for the city of Wisconsin Rapids as the alderperson for District 2. Lee is a current board member for Southwood County Recreation Center. He has been energetic and accommodating in welcoming our new 2022 River Kings owner and coach. Lee has coached for many sports and organizations. In fact, it was amazing as I was looking through all the pictures and the information that I received. I wonder if he's ever home. So he has coached Raptors football, RISA softball league, Rage and RISA softball tournament team, RISA baseball league, RISA baseball tournament team, Wisconsin Blackout travel softball, and Southwood County youth hockey. and he is currently part of the Southwood County Recreation Center. Tonight, Dan and Lee have been nominated. Well, there's so many things they've done, but tonight they've been nominated for pursuing the idea of the quadplex and seeing it through to completion to what is today known as the Wisconsin Rapids Area Sports Complex. I will now let Dan and Lee tell their story of how the sports complex came to completion. It is truly a field of dreams. Build it, and they will come. Dan and Lee,
First off, my name is Lee Graff. I'd like to thank the Hope Chunk Casino for allowing us to have this event, the Sports Commission for this award and this opportunity, and then everybody that was able to make it today. It's very important for everybody that has been involved in sports for a long time. It's important to have that support through family and friends, so I appreciate it. So my name is Lee Graff. I was asked not to talk because I'll be here. You guys will be here all night. So Dan reluctantly gave me the mic anyway. Like that was mentioned, is I've been coaching for a long time. I've been coaching for a long time, trying to help out the community, make things better, whether it's being a part of boards, being a part of helping kids out. This whole mission of what we've done here is literally just that, just to help kids, the community. With that being said, I'll turn it over to Dan.
Thank you, Lee. Found someone that was as crazy as I was, I guess, about this endeavor. So so I can't thank him enough, and obviously thank all of you for being here. We got some wonderful things going on in our community, and that's really what this is all about. So congratulations to Ken too for a great nomination and an awesome cause. I've seen your presentation at Rotary as well, and you're leaving a mark. You know, you truly are. So appreciate those efforts there. At the end of the day, you know, we always had one goal, is to leave it better than we found it, and we always thought there was a way or an opportunity that we could do that. And one of the questions was, well, what do you get out of this? And I said, well, we don't sell turf and we don't sell fencing, so you figure it out, you know. And I said, my boys are going to be long gone before this thing's ever built, if it even happens. And I said, that's okay, because we're going to provide this for, you know, future people and generations we'll never meet. And that's all right, because that's what it's all about. It's paying it forward. So with that being said, obviously it's a dream come true. Can't thank all of the people that are here that are supporting us tonight for their small part or their efforts that were always here along the way. The list goes on miles and miles. So again, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
all right, thank you, Dan and Lee. I do remember I was at one sports commission meeting and talking to Dan. And while their vision was originally to have it at the Meade Field, somehow, well, as you know, now it's at Lincoln High School and it's part of a bigger project. And he also said, I think this is like my third child. So that just goes to show how much time and effort the two of them had put into it. All right, now on to our third candidate, or second, depending on how you count it, Ken Hilgers, the man, the legend. He is no myth, as I found out. So I talked to a lot of people, and they were very willing to tell me stories and information. And one thing that they always said, or came up in every discussion, was Ken has always put others first. Always a teacher, an encourager, a mentor, an instructor, a friend, a storyteller, father, and a volunteer in the schools. I could go on, but ask the people he has coached with through the years, his boxers. His family knows how important boxing has been in his life. It is his passion. Ken has been coaching for 47 years, and he has coached over, I think I have this right, 1,300 boxers. The Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club has survived as they have moved to 6 different locations. The boxing club is now at the YMCA in Port Edwards. And I got a little glimpse of it, and I would have to say it looks like a beautiful facility. Ken has done a remarkable job at coaching and mentoring kids. He also installs his love of reading with the boxers at the club and by volunteering in the Nakusa School District. Ken has also been generous with his remaining time, which, again, I don't know where he gets all of his time, volunteering to coach football and baseball. It is also very common for Ken to spend an entire weekend with the boxers. Ken and his coaches see to it that these boxing cards become a reality for many youth. Wherever there is a need, there seems to be Ken. And I can't tell you how many times I heard that. I bet probably a dozen times. Wherever there is a need, there is Ken. For many of the boxers, he has become more than a boxing coach. So I had a hunch about how influential Ken was with his boxers and students. And I needed to check it out on my own. You see, I am a substitute teacher in the Wisconsin Rapids School District. And I met up with this student. His name is Isaac. And it was the end of the pandemic. We were in school, wearing masks. It started out A-B days, and I don't know, then it was every day. And he pretty much slept through class, and he didn't do very much. But I knew he had potential. He just certainly wasn't living up to his potential. So then he told me that he joined boxing, and I was like, really? And I knew nothing about it. My kids were in hockey and soccer. Within weeks, I could see a positive change in his personality. And I do keep tabs on Isaac. I don't know why. He just struck me as one of those students he's always got a smirk on his face and a story to tell. So when the Sports Commission nomination for Ken Hilgers came in, I asked Isaac to describe what boxing and Ken meant to him. This is straight from Isaac. So once the restrictions let up, I found myself back in the gym to work out with my brother. At first it was almost torture. I could barely do one lap up and down the stairs without grasping for air. But Ken and his club never gave up on me. In the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club, I managed to get in shape and gain friendships I will never forget along the way. I would even say my coaches and friends from boxing are considered a second family to me. Since I have joined, I have had 7 amateur bouts. Some have went well, others haven't. But without Ken and his club, I'd likely still be in my room doing nothing. I will love everyone in boxing forever, and I am so proud to see where everyone has come. And tonight, Isaac showed me his grades, and they're way better. So, in a time when high school and university clubs, boxing clubs, are on the decline, Ken's club is a home to one of the small town clubs that is alive in the upper Midwest. Wherever there is a need, there seems to be Ken. Without further delay, I would like to introduce Ken Hilgers. Congratulations, Ken. And how are you this evening?
I'm medium. My wife might not agree that there's always Ken being available.
Can everybody hear him? Okay. Oh, yes, no?
My wife doesn't always agree that I'm always readily available. Okay.
I guess I'm going to talk into this. Okay, I'm going to go quickly. They said only three minutes. I've got a lot of stories here. 1977, we were running a boxing show in Port Edwards. My sister was up in Stevens Point. She was a nursing student. She said, I'll come down and help you do physicals down there for the boxers. I thought, well, that's a great idea. She said, my roommate is in the same nursing program. Should I bring her? And I said, yeah, bring her the physical to go quicker. That was the smartest move I ever made. I married her roommate, and we had 3 children. My entire family has always helped me with the boxing shows. They've helped set up rings, take rings down, they sold tickets. A lot of the little jobs there. That being said, there's 2 families that have been with me all through the years, that the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club wouldn't be here without the assistance of the Sullivans and the Browns. They have been one of them is my right-hand family, and the other one's my left-hand family, and I could never pick which one was which. But they have always assisted Doug and Roger and Wayne and all the Sullivans, 3 generations of boxers. They've assisted in many different ways, setting up anything that had to be fixed. They assisted financially. They give rides to box. There would be no Wisconsin Rapids boxing without those families. We're on our 6th gym. At different times, we've run out of time at this gym or that gym, and a couple different times I thought we've reached the end of the road, where we have no more gym. And but we always seem to find another one. I know Wayne Brown on several occasions found us the next generation of gym. Right now, the gym we have is the finest gym we've ever had. And to support people within our group right now is the strongest support group I've ever had. My 2 assistant coaches are ex-boxers. Kelvin Anderson is the multiple state champion boxer, and Thaddeus Goodness is a former boxer for the boxing club. And we have other people helping me with the finances and the communication and stuff. And right now, we have never been in a position like this before. We've had 40 state champions through the years. We've had 15 different coaches that have worked in the gym. I would like to mention that there was a time period where I was not the head coach. Wayne Brown was the head coach, and he probably ran things better than I did. He had a lot of tough guys. He had state champions. It allowed me, I was the assistant coach at that time, but Wayne was the much more active coach. I had time to go with my children as they went through the high school sports scenes. I was able to coach football with my sons. I was able to coach fast pitch softball with my daughter. It was a godsend to know that the gym was in good hands while I did the father thing. We've sent 11 boxers to the nationals, and some of them multiple times. And unless you've been in a national boxing tournament, it's quite a thing. I would be remiss to not mention another family. But that would be the Gus family up in Auburndale, who carried on boxing through the 50s and 60s. That is where I started my boxing career, in the basement of an Auburndale dairy farmer. We went down there. It was sort of like a ring down there. I don't know if you call it a ring. It had 4 corners. I think there was a rope. They had gloves. You strapped them on, and you got whoever was else in the ring. And then we graduated. We went to an abandoned school, unheated school. It hadn't probably been used in 20 years. We had a big wash dish right by the door. We filled it up with mouthwash, and we threw our mouth guard in there at the end of practice. And when we'd come back the next time, we would fish it out. And once again, there wasn't a lot of formal training, but there sure was a lot of farm boys that were willing to put on the gloves and trade punches. But the Gus family did an awful lot to encourage and They still have a team up there at Squared Circle. We have some of the most wonderful people I've ever met were with the Guts Boxing Gym. And I think most of us can trace most of our routes back there. I will conclude with naming, I was in shock tonight. I have a couple, in 1975 was the first year I coached. Wayne Kuntz called me down at the Y. He was a competitive weightlifter. He said, hey, I got a little kid down here that wants to box. And I went down there to check him out, and he had blonde hair, blue eyes, and he just looked like a kid to me. And so we started our boxing journey together. It turned out to be Dale Horn, five-time state champ, five-time state champion at least, and over 100 bouts Dale had. When we traveled all over, I felt sorry for Dale because when I drove late at night, I tell stories, and he probably had to listen to the same stories 3 or 4 times over. But also, with that very first boxing team, I didn't know it at the time, but we had an amazing, wonderful run of athletes, God-gifted athletes. We won the state championship that year. I know Dan Malone has come from LeClaire here. He was on that very first team, multiple state champion. Kelvin Anderson, one of my coaches, he was on the team the very next year, another multiple state champion. And Dan and Dale, would you stand up, please? This was at the beginning, and and we can look back 47 years and see the results of those nights down there. Make an excuse to your wife why you got to go to the boxing gym. It feels pretty good. Thank you.
Good job, Kim. Good job.
All right, thank you, Ken. That was quite a trip down memory lane and all that you've accomplished and all the people that you've touched over the years. I would now like to introduce Matt Zukowski, who will let us know who the winner is. So Matt wears quite a few hats with the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
I'm going to see if I can place this. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. All right. Well, listen, my name is Matt Zukowski. I was supposed to explain a little bit about myself. And I will do that. I was born and raised in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and for the last 30 years, I've been affiliated with the YMCA. And before I moved up here in central Wisconsin in 2015, I had spent the previous 13 years in Chicago. It's quite a difference. But I've been here since 2015, and very honored to say this is home. It's great being here. My involvement with the Sports Commission and with the Convention Visitors Bureau, as I've been a volunteer for about, I think, 6 years. I'm the current president of the board. My term runs out in December, and we have our next president here tonight is Mr. Mike Hittner with his beautiful wife, Barb. Mike, I told you I'd mention you tonight, So we have Mike here, and then Mr. Ken Porter approached me about 5 years ago in my office at the Port Edwards YMCA and had extended an invite for me to be part of the Sports Commission. And I've been the co-chair for about 5 years now, and it's just been an honor meeting so many wonderful people. And it's great being here tonight. What a great celebration. And before I get more into my comments, I'd like to let everyone know exactly how we come up with our candidates and how we proceed with the award winner. The candidates, it's open to the public. So everyone that feels someone is worthy of the award can nominate someone. That's how this happens. As far as when that happens, we have our nominees, and then our past award winners, the staff, Meredith, Nathan, and myself, vote on who is the MVP, who is the recipient of this prestigious award. And that's how we go about it. I will say this, what is the MVP award all about? And Nathan in his comments mentioned the importance of sports in our community. And to me, there's really two things that are important. One is what sports brings to this community. I'm talking economically and quality of life. It brings visitors to our area when we have tournaments. We can't put a price tag on that. For example, I'll put things very simple. If you have a waiter at one of our restaurants, we have visitors come, they get a better tip. We have our numerous coffee shops. The barista has his tip jar, more tips. Those are just little things like that, very important. So we have the economic value, quality of life, and secondly, and most importantly, what does sports bring? It's the social impact and the impact it makes in the lives of people. When you have people participate, young people, in sports, you learn life lessons. You learn perseverance. You learn how to work with people. You learn how to communicate, how to listen. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, that's what life's all about. And that's what sports can bring. A few hours ago at the YMCA, I had to speak with two teens in a most unfortunate situation, and I love these two. But as I was speaking to them, there was definitely a lack of direction, just a lack of focus. And when I look at these three candidates tonight, I can tell you this, not everyone that participates in Ken's Boxing Club will be a top contender or a heavyweight champion. And Dan and Lee, not everyone's going to get that Division I scholarship through baseball or be in the minor leagues, in the major leagues. But what happens when they participate in these sports, you're building character and you're building humility. Qualities that are so desperately needed nowadays. And when I look at the screen of the kids, the teens that you're working with, it's very emotional. And I can tell you one thing, Lee, Dan, and Ken, you are sowing seeds that will reap a great harvest that will produce great benefits for our community and the world itself, period. And you should be congratulated for that, and God bless you. So let's give them a hand. So, tonight, I will announce the award winner, but again, I want to emphasize this is a celebration. It's a celebration of the outstanding work that these three are doing, not only for Dan and Lee with the sports complex, but the lives you're making, the kids in your baseball program. Ken Hilgers, 1975. You gotta be kidding me. That's amazing. It's a celebration. And I'm just honored to be up here. So, without any further ado, I'd like to present the 2022 MVP award winner to congratulations to Dan Guck and Lee Graff from the Rapids Area Sports Complex.
Dan and Lee, come on up.
Wow, I don't know what to say. Probably first time ever. congratulations to Ken. You have amazing work, and I can tell you who I'm voting for next year. You're making a difference, and you're touching so many lives. And just like Lee and I, the whole passion behind the Quadplex was it was going to be community involvement, sustainable, and it was going to provide economic impact, and it was hopefully going to affect thousands of kids' lives every single year. And so far, that's exactly the pace that it's on, and it's able to do that and continue to ripple across and hopefully build, just like Matt was saying, that future character in all of these other kids' lives that we're making a difference. And they're going to be the ones up here someday that are going to be the leaders in their community. And hopefully we continue to pass that torch, and we've made a difference and left it better than we found it. So thank you very much. I'll keep it short.
Not to echo anything or say anything over and above what Dan did. Ken, thank you very much for everything you've done. It's truly an honor to be a part of this, in order to be, accepted at the same level that you have been for many years. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Sports Commission, again, thank you. Family, friends, thank you so much for the time that you guys were giving us in order to get together and make a difference in the community. We spent, hundreds of thousands of hours, it seems like, and lots of nights away from our family, and missed a lot of activities with our kids, and in order to try to do something like this. Didn't think it would actually ever happen. We just randomly got together, and thank you to Mr. Kromenacher that pretty much forced that decision and said you guys need to meet, and that's how we ended up meeting. And everybody that's been here, everybody that showed up tonight, everybody, the boards, the Lincoln High School, thank you for supporting everything we did. Brian Went, goes without saying.
Mr. Spreadsheet Man.
Mr. Spreadsheet Man. Mr. Porter got us going, right? I mean, everybody in this room helped us in so many different ways. It's great for the community, it's great for the kids, and at the end of the day, that's all we can ask for. So thank you very much.
As long as we got the floor, I wouldn't mind recognizing just a few people here. So, as far as the project goes, there's obviously a few folks that were able to make it here. And on behalf of the school district, which was a huge partner in all of this, and without their support, their guidance, them being a staple of life in our community, it wouldn't have been able to happen either. So, to the district, those of you that are there, if you could just give a wave, we sure appreciate your efforts as well. On a personal note, there's two people here, my mom and dad, that they've always built that foundation, and to like Ken's point about always being a pillar of support and just unwavering conditional love, and just so fortunate and happy that I was able to grow up in that type of household to lead by their example. Last but not least, my family, was my wife and one of our boys is here. And Shelly, you the one who sacrificed the most out of all of this. And without the amazing support that you and Tracy have been able to give Lee and I, you've always been the rock at home, maybe when we weren't there, obviously for 10 years while this was going on. And without you, you complete me. And so thankful you're my wife.
Well, thank you everybody for taking the time to listen to the stories that we heard here tonight. I know, like I said, I'm new to the area, and I've learned a lot in my time helping to coordinate this event and to get to know the sports community a little better. I have a couple closing remarks and thank yous that we got to acknowledge here, or that I get to, excuse me. First, I'd like to thank anyone in attendance tonight involved in the Wisconsin Rapids area sports community and sports tourism. That, speaking from a visitor standpoint, that sports are one of the top visitor inquiries that we get. Everyone's asking about the facilities that we have and all the different things that we're things and programs that we provide, and it's awesome to be able to say we have a very well-established sports community. I'd also like to thank the anyone in attendance that just supports the sports community by going to games, tournaments, events, fundraisers. We could not do it without those people in the stands as well. We really had an amazing turnout for this event. When we started planning, we thought, maybe 20. And we have a lot more tonight, so it's really, really cool to see the large turnout in support of these individuals. I'd like to thank Kim Kinsey for coordinating the event. Can we give her a round of applause, please? Kim took a lot of time out of her day, a lot of the past couple of months with a full-time job to still coordinate this event and talk to all the nominees, their families before we run this event and gather information, gather photos. So thank you, Kim. I'd also like to send a huge thank you to the Ho-Chunk Gaming Nakusa and the Ho-Chunk Nation. This event has been seamless to get rolling. The venue is amazing. All the staff have been especially accommodating. I'd like to call out Jace Salloway as the food and beverage manager and the food and beverage staff. Matthew, our great bartender back there. And Kathy DeCamp is the marketing director for setting up this venue for us. And this being the first event here after the pandemic, that's kind of awesome in my opinion. So let's give Kathy a round of applause. And I'd like to invite Kathy up here to give us a few closing remarks and talk about some of the incentives tonight.
Hijankishana hinikaragiwi. Ho-Chunk Rajla chant inajinga hingaideda, but you could call me Kathy DeCamp. Welcome to our facility, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for coming here with your MVP event. For my staff and for the staff that works here at Food and Beverage, we put our all into everything when our guests are going to come here and be with us. So thank you so very much for coming here and having your venue here at our facility. We were so happy and excited before you got here. We're like, oh my gosh, everybody's starting to come in. What are we going to do? And what we're going to do is what you saw us do, wait on you and make you feel welcome. And we are so happy that you joined us this evening. Now what Nathan was talking about, that I'm going to be telling you about some things that you probably already went out on the floor already. Can I see a show of hands of everyone that used their $10 rewards play? Thank you. Okay, and then the other ones are going to go out there after, so thank you. So what's going to happen is when you leave here, well, be careful on your way home because it's been snowing. We saw pictures of Lambeau Field where it is snowing while our great pack is playing. But so the $10 rewards play coupon that you have, you can take it up to the rewards club, get a rewards card, and then that $10 will be on your card. You will need your ID card to use it. But thank you again so very much for joining us. Congratulations to the winners of the MVP award. I know that you worked very hard for it, and it's a sporting award, so I know that everyone was really competing for that, right? Very much in competition for that. So congratulations. And of course our family, they do encourage us, they inspire us, and they make us who we are. And me, myself, I don't like speaking in front of a large group because I'm very shy, as you can tell. But thank you so much for letting me hold your attention this long. And thank you so much for coming to our facility. And once again, welcome, and we appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed everything. And if you're thinking about having a wedding or some kind of event, please contact myself, Kathy DeCamp. I'm located here at this facility, unless somebody steals me. And then I'll be going over there. Have a good night. Thank you very much.